Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. But thinking about this whole Sergeant Bergdahl desertion charge, shame on all of us. After all, the guy who made that deal to get Bergdahl back here is the same guy who's negotiating in secret with Iran now. The guy who secretly swapped the now charged deserter with 5 Taliban militants who are now set to do God knows what. All done without anyone's knowledge then, much like the way the White House is handling these Iran nuke talks now. But knowing what we now do about that last deal, doesn't it give you at least some pause on the White House handling this deal? It would be like rewarding the CEO who drove the company into the ditch by paying him still more so he can, well, find another ditch. It wouldn't make good business sense. It makes even less political sense. And it is zero military sense. To business expert Mark Serrano, who says that the president's not inspiring much confidence, but Democratic strategist Julie Regency says Republicans constantly criticizing the president doesn't inspire much confidence either. Did I get the gist of your view on this?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's good to know. So what do you think of this? Who should be handling what?
Well, first of all, the administration should be handling both extracting a United States soldier, because who else is going to do it? And the administration obviously should be handling any negotiation with Iran.
Even in secret?
Well, yes, in secret, but Congress should approve it. This is where I diverge paths with the administration. But yes.
You're not at all concerned that the last deal wasn't exactly right.
So the problem with the last deal to me is it was a horrible deal, but to me it was the best of all horrible options, because we had 2 other options that we could have done. We could have left an American serviceman, and I get that he may have deserted. We'll find out. It looks like he did, but we'll find out when he goes to trial. He may have deserted, and he certainly put a lot of other men in harm's way, some of whom died.
However, bring him back.
However, we have to bring him back because he's an American serviceman. And the other option would have been not just to leave him there. The other option would have been for us to go there and have commandos extract him, therefore putting other people...
We're getting in the weeds, but I understand where you come from. But, Mark, I know in the business world, if a board makes that kind of a screw-up, whether it was the least, offensive of all options, the board is not around, the CEO is not around. They don't get a chance to screw up again,
right,
usually.
But in this case, it's twisted because the board wants the CEO to screw up. Right, the president wanted that deal and evaded congressional approval on this Gitmo swap. Why? It wasn't about extracting a serviceman. It was about shutting down Gitmo. It was about creating a political force to shut down Gitmo. This is the same thing. The president has taken for granted the trust of the American people. It's broken. And so this same guy is cutting a deal with Iran in secret. And you know what? Tell that story to the families of the 6 servicemen who went looking for Bergdahl and lost their lives. The president, once again, is...
But are you saying because of this one deal, obnoxious as it was in your eyes, that the president shouldn't be negotiating with anyone on anything, anywhere?
No, the president can't be trusted to negotiate.
But that's what presidents do.
This is, okay, but the presidents follow the Constitution. The presidents consult Congress. The president's going to get approval from the United Nations for this deal.
That's the problem, because a lot of people think that, and even why 367 House Representatives, Democrat and Republican, over 100 Democrats, Steny Hoyer among them, said, no, you got to remember, this goes through us when all is said and done.
I agree, and I agree with people like Bob Menendez who want oversight, and I absolutely agree with that. However, just because you're unhappy with the way this election turned out, and just because you're unhappy with the president...
Which election?
The last
2014?
The last two. The last 2 presidential elections. You can't say that this president can't be trusted because you don't trust him, so therefore the president of the United States...
But he's not said,
to be fair,
he's not said he's going to run this by Congress and all is said and done.
I agree with you. That's a mistake.
So you can understand why people are saying, wait a minute.
I agree with you. That's a mistake. But the negotiation needs to emanate, as it would in the Bush administration or even the Nixon administration, from the White House.
Do you want the United Nations to approve this deal and not Congress? When it's negotiated...
Well, first of all, I made it clear. I want Congress. I said that 3 times. I want Congress to approve this deal.
So you would not like the United Nations voting?
United Nations? Well, the P+1 is part of the negotiation process. So it's the 5 permanent Security Council members and Germany.
But it's okay to have them and Congress, but not them alone. The UN, I'm saying.
The UN? Well, first of all, Iran is not negotiating with us bilaterally. It's a multilateral negotiation, so that's who the negotiating partners are.
I understand it, but you're just saying Congress should have a say when all is said and done. You're concerned after this deal that will not happen because that was done in secret. This will be done in secret.
Well, and the president's already said he's not planning on consulting Congress about this. He's going to go to the United Nations for them to approve a U.S. treaty. This is all backwards.
But it's not a treaty. That's the difference.
It is a treaty.
Bottom line, it is confusing.
It is
guys, I want to thank you both very much. In the meantime...